Welcome back to Podkast with a K. I'm your host, Carla with a K, and you're listening to 90.1 WECFM, and we're joined on this fine Sunday evening by Nour, Cris, and Jorge once more. Yes. Guys, how are you doing?
Good.
Guys, how are you?
We're good.
How are you, Carla?
I'm fantastic. Y'all, it's been a few weeks, maybe a couple weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks since we last heard you live on the air. And last we heard, you were deleting social media off of your phones, dude. How did that go?
Well, it went very interesting, Carla.
Is that so?
Yeah, 1 week without social media, it's a lot, but, you know, we got through it, so.
What was your
what was your y'all have your
my statistics.
Yeah,
let's
you want to know my data?
Okay, I don't remember precisely who everyone's stats were, but Jorge's stats were, I'm pretty sure, like, I think 8 hours a day. Like, this dude had a full-time job on social media.
Yeah, it was pretty high. That's interesting. Let me check.
Yeah, everyone pull their stats up, actually.
You can't check because now you've done a whole week with it.
It goes back a month, doesn't it?
It shows you your stats for this week compared to last week, so you will be able to kind of know how your past week went. We'll have no idea how your weeks went unless you screenshotted them during your social media cleanse, but...
Well, I'm 3 hours, 22 minutes a day.
That's your time now?
Yeah, that's my time now.
Wait, 3 hours, 22?
3 hours, 22, yeah.
I'm at 3:25.
Hey. I will say, though, like, by the second day...
Yeah.
I got pretty used to it.
Yeah.
By the second day, like the first day, I did struggle. Not gonna lie.
I'm still pretty high. 6 hours today.
Really?
Oh wow!
I got used to it pretty good the first and second days. It was only like the fourth and fifth days that were like the hardest for me.
That's weird.
Just because you knew that the time was coming.
Not even that. It's just like a lot of stuff were happening, and I was like, damn. I had to download it. Like,
wait, you cheated?
What?
Wait, you cheated?
I mean, technically,
you cheated.
Hold on.
It was 7
What
days.
did you download?
I just downloaded. Snapchat was the only app I downloaded.
Wait.
But it was
within
technically
that
a week.
Wait, how soon?
Yes, within that week.
How soon into? Or how late?
It was Saturday, like around 1.
Oh my God!
In the afternoon.
You're a cheater,
dude.
You didn't fulfill the challenge.
I deleted
Get
it on
out.
Sunday. I re-downloaded it Saturday. That's a week. Basically.
No,
We said it would go till Sunday at 12. Carla made the rules.
I did make the rules.
Okay,
the rules were Sunday at 11 a.m. We would check in and see if you were going to continue or give up. And I updated y'all last week on what their decisions were. Everyone re-downloaded it. Everyone caved.
But I haven't been on it as much as like the weeks before.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, I was like 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's gone down. It's like around 6 hours, maybe 5 hours now.
What's y'all stats for last week? Let's do that.
Like my last 7 days?
Yes.
How'd you do that?
You go to settings, screen time, then you check on the hours, or click on the hours, and it tells you today versus the last 7 days. So I'll go ahead and do mine because I activated mine after these kids did their cleanse because I was kind of curious. And I use my phone and social media fairly often, but I wouldn't say I'm like obsessed with it. Y'all can be the judge of that based on your own personal stats and whoever's listening at home. I'm at 5 hours a day, and my top used things are social networks, productivity, and creativity. My top 5 apps are Snapchat, Twitter, texting, Instagram, and Tidal music.
I'm still getting 3 hours, 21 minutes.
Really?
I'm at 6 hours, so
6 hours?
I went up from
Nour.
the week that we were off. Stop.
Mine is 5 hours. 5 hours and 44 minutes, you know.
Dude, that's
Mine's
quite a drop.
That is quite a drop.
So,
Except what was that? 2 hours maybe? So
yeah, you're supposed. You have to catch up on everything you missed.
Wait, did you go up too, Nour?
No, we went down. She was at like 6, I think, or 7 maybe.
Well, when I checked it last week after we finished, it went down to like 3 hours a day.
Oh wow!
But it's been a whole week.
So you've been kind of readjusting.
I went back up. Yep.
Yeah. That's wild. So tell us, what did y'all do without social media to keep your interest?
Honestly, I felt at peace without the social media because I think that when we're using social media, like we're so invested in other people's lives that we're not invested in our own. So that week away was so peaceful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How about you boys?
I'd agree. Like, for me, like I was telling Nour the other day, like I found myself being way more productive with my work. Generally, I would put off stuff and go on social media for a bit, but I would just get right to it, and I feel like that helped. And like
that's
Nour
something
said,
you mentioned
like,
too,
not
right?
as invested in people's lives, but like
you mentioned wanting to be more productive,
right? But I really did lose like interest in what other people were doing.
Yeah.
And like by my second day, it wouldn't even cross my mind that other people had any lives.
Right.
You know.
Oh my God. We are bombarded with information that we didn't ask for. I saw a tweet, social media. I never left. I saw a tweet over y'all's cleanse that was like, anything I've learned about the Kardashians has been against my will and consent. And I'm like, bro, facts. I don't ask for a lot of the information I have, but like, thanks to the internet, I have it. Jorge, what about you?
Well, mine was very interesting. So the first couple days, I felt like I was a bit more social.
Yeah.
I was talking to a lot more people, because I didn't have that, phone on my time. The thing that I found interesting was even though I don't have social media, I would still like be on my phone, but it would be on like other stuff.
Like what?
Apart from social media. Like I'd be like browsing Safari, or I'd be playing like Subway Surfers.
Games was a big one. I got a lot of games, yeah.
Yeah, like games. I don't know, something just like pass the time.
You got games?
What was that, Carla?
You got games?
Huh?
You got games?
Games all the time, bro. Pool.
Pool, I know, right?
8 ball, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dude, 8 ball.
But like the most bizarre thing for me was when I was talking to people.
Right.
Because I wasn't on social media, I got to see who they are like right then and there as like a person. Because, a lot of people have like this internet, they
like
say stuff
persona.
differently. I can't see that because I didn't have any social media. So like what I saw is like what you got, like this is who you are.
Oh, wow.
So that's really cool. It's
that's
like,
interesting.
That's cool.
It is tight.
I like
That's
that.
what I like the most about it.
Did you learn anything about yourself?
Yeah, that I don't really care about people.
Yeah, I really like.
Yeah.
Like I said previously, like by the second day, I really lost complete interest in what people were doing, and I kind of just focused on myself and my life instead of others. So that was pretty cool.
And you just kind of like learn to like whoever wants to contact you will with or without social media.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree. Would y'all do this again?
No.
Yeah.
I would.
I would do it again.
I would.
I mean, we said, Jorge has a full-time job in social media.
He's got to
like
catch
a
up
week?
with some hours, right?
Like a month, Jorge?
He's got to make up those hours.
So
I mean, he couldn't even do a week, so can we really expect him to do a month?
The only app I re-downloaded was Snapchat, though.
So I was going to ask you, because we did talk about it. Why, like, specifically Snapchat and, like, you left aside Twitter, Instagram, and all that?
Right. So I guess it's because I have more people on Snapchat than I have, like, on iMessages. Does that make sense? So I can, like, talk to more people.
So for
some
you,
people don't have my
Snapchat's still
actual
like a
number.
messenger.
Right. It was more like a messenger that I used.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like
very
it's
interesting.
used as a messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. And a lot of group chats also happen through Snapchat now instead of like actual texting. Because like, bro, I don't got time to get all your numbers, but I can scan your snap code like that.
Right.
That is very fair points. Something that I'm glad y'all have been back on the internet for. Otherwise, you would have missed out on this. Was the absolute phenomenon that is Old Town Road by Lil Nas, now featuring Billie Ray Cyrus.
Classic.
Yes.
All right, shall we discuss first or shall we listen to the song first? Because both are very good options.
I think we should listen.
Let's listen to it.
All right, let's listen to the song in case y'all don't know.
Bang.
It's the Horses in the Back song. But this is Old Town Road by Lil Nas featuring Billie Ray Cyrus.
Featuring Billie Ray?
Now it's featuring Billie Ray
Yes,
Cyrus.
let's go. Is that the one we're playing?
Yes, we're going to play the
cool.
song. Thanks to Jorge for the suggestion. That was Old Town Road by Lil Nas X featuring Billie Ray Cyrus.
#1 trending.
Thoughts, guys. This is
I hate to admit it, but I like this song.
I love this song. It's a bop, bro.
I didn't like this song before.
Really?
What about
I
now?
hated it. I don't know.
So what changed?
It's good. I
Billie
don't know.
Ray.
Yeah,
Billie
Billie Ray
Ray.
Cyrus changed the song.
Billie Ray Cyrus
I didn't realize
goes
you were
hard
such
on
a
this.
stan for Billie Ray
I really
Cyrus.
didn't like it before.
Honestly, okay, so when I first heard the song, I didn't realize it was like exclusively a country song because I just heard the Horses in the Back clip.
I thought it was just a
like,
meme, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I found it thanks to Twitter memes. But yeah, so the controversy surrounding this song is the song came out, immediately started trending because it's a bop. But Billboard manually took it off the charts, saying it wasn't enough of a country song to trend as a country song, saying it didn't feature enough country elements to it. And I mean, your man's Lil Nas X was like, I bet, and Billie Ray Cyrus was like, "Ayo fam, let me get on that track." And
so that was the whole purpose behind his feature.
That was the main. It was basically the purpose for
cool.
the feature, because now through Billie Ray Cyrus's feature, it's back on the charts, trending as a country song.
Really?
And Billie Ray Cyrus himself has been on Twitter, which he has a Twitter. I didn't know this before the song, like talking nonstop about like how much he loves the song and how great it is. And his own personal quote is, "It was so obvious to me after hearing the song just one time. I was thinking, what's not country about it? What's the rudimentary element of a country and Western song? Then I thought, it's honest, humble, has an infectious hook, and a banjo. What the hell more do you need?" A few days passed. I went to the studio to do vocals. When I finished it, I whistled at the end of the song. The engineer stood up, said, "That's fire. We're keeping it," etc. So here we go, Old Town Road. That's the new bop of the summer. I'm calling it now.
I like it.
Yeah.
Is it country though?
Is it country though?
Now it is.
I think it was country before.
I agree,
Yeah.
yeah.
Listening to the full song, it's definitely a country song. It just has a trap beat to it, but like it's still very much country.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think it's the only trap beat. But I don't know. Does Florida?
Yes.
Florida line.
Florida,
So
Georgia
Florida
They do the
line.
same
Georgia
thing, right?
Line has done the
Yeah.
same thing. Being actually, it was the other way around. The first time it was Florida Georgia Line, and Nelly picked up the song, put a beat to Cruise, I think,
Mhm.
and then again Florida Georgia Line with BB Rexa, If It's Meant to Be.
Yeah.
And so like there was no discussion there about whether it was country or not, because Florida Georgia Line like made their name, I guess, as country artists. But like the song itself, if you listen to it without like knowing that they're country,
It's
like
pretty
it's very
country.
much country.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
Lil Nas X, like I don't know if he has other songs, but like it's the first song I hear, and it's very much
He
country.
does. Yeah, he does have like history of music. I
Yeah.
was looking through it the other day.
But nothing that's trended before, right?
No,
Country?
but I don't think so. No.
Hmm.
I don't
So
think he's
whether or not it's his
doing
first
that.
foray into country, like this song itself is very clearly like, let me get my hat and my boots out.
Yeah. Do you think there is a future in country? You think country music is evolving because
Yeah,
of this song?
it's
All music
definitely
is evolving
evolving.
for sure, dude.
Where do you guys stand on country?
I like country.
I like country.
I like country.
Yeah, I'm kind of biased towards country.
So I'm the.
You don't
the-
No.
like country?
I don't know.
I
Like
like country.
Well, I have a complicated history with country. In like 3rd grade, I used to love it. Then I started to hate it, and I've recently started finding my way like back into it, but not as much as I used to before. I went through a little phase in high school because all of my friends were country listeners.
Finish that
Country
sentence.
listeners.
They were country listeners. They listen to country music. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of country music sounds the same, which is what I don't like.
I like the slow ones.
Yeah.
Like the really, really romantic slow ones. Yeah.
So like you're thinking Blake Shelton type country
I
music.
suppose, yeah.
Why do I know this? Okay.
Mm.
So Nour, do you have favorite country artists?
Ooh.
Nour?
I don't know, like pretty basic. Carrie Underwood, she's really good. Kelsey Ballerini, she's also
Ooh,
very good.
Yeah, I have a few that I like by Kelsey Ballerini.
Rascal Flatts.
Oh, Rascal Flatts, yeah.
They're really good too.
What about you, Jorge?
Mm.
Favorite country artists, if any?
I do like Luke Combs.
Mm-hmm.
You know who it is? Yeah.
He's from North Carolina.
He
Yes.
is.
Boone, North Carolina.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta
I do like
represent.
a couple of his songs. Beautiful, Crazy. It's a bop. I like them. Huh?
Nothing.
It's
What'd
a
you
bop.
I said it's a bop.
No, you good?
I'm good.
Chris, are there any country artists you like? Like
Lil Nas.
Lil Nas.
Lil Nas,
He was
bro.
hard.
There you go. Let's go hard.
Yeah. I don't know. Personally, I'd say Carrie Underwood, Hunter Hayes are probably like
Hunter
my
Hayes.
2 top that I'll listen to whenever, wherever. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's other genres that should get more hate than they do, but country music is like everyone's favorite love to hate type genre.
Yeah.
It's not bad music. It's just like I said, to me a lot of them are the same songs, same chord progressions, same structure. Nothing particularly gets your attention, which is I think why people tune it out, other than to say, wow, I hate country music.
I think I just need to listen more of it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been exposed to enough country music
Yeah.
to say that I either like it or dislike it. It's kind of just there for me.
Do you think it'll be songs like this that bring people into country music, that kind of have like something that's not normal, but like not common? So like with this one and the beat being different.
For me, at least, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Are there any artists or other types of music that y'all have found without actually knowing that you cared for that type of music? Like I know indie music, a lot of people find through like well, before it was Vines, but like people kind of making fun of the way indie singers sing, because they do kind of have like that like weird accent affectation type thing to their voice, but like you kind of end up falling into like, indie music. Like it's a rabbit hole you spiral into.
Yeah, I do like the indie music. The thing with indie though is it sounds really good. Like the first couple songs you listen to, it's like, dang, this is so indie. Like no one's ever heard this song before.
Yeah.
But after like a couple songs, it's like, damn, I'm getting really bored now. I gotta switch it up.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of the songs in a lot of genres that aren't super popular follow the same structure, because it's not oversaturated, kind of like pop, and like pop is known for all sounding the same, but because of that, people kind of try to twist to add their own flair to it.
Yeah.
What about y'all too?
I don't think I've mysteriously found a genre.
Nothing.
Not that I can think of.
I mean, for indie music, there's just so many artists like that I come across.
Yeah.
But like Jorge said, I think one of the things that make indie music so appealing to some is how, I guess, exclusive it is, and how I've heard of it but you haven't.
Right.
How rare it is.
And a lot of music is, or I guess the community surrounding certain type of music is for the exclusivity of it, for like being able to say, oh, you wouldn't get it, it's too niche for you, and that's something that kind of follows indie music around a lot.
Yeah.
What do you all think about that? About like the fans themselves being like, oh, you can't listen to this because you're too mainstream, you're too pop culture.
Ooh.
I don't agree with that.
I feel like that's pretty common.
It is unfortunately common. I would say it's unfortunately common, just because, I mean, I don't know, I like discovering new things, and just because you don't listen to something doesn't mean you can't start listening to it.
Right.
People do like to keep it like their little secret, like to see this cool artist and they like their music, like, and you see it all the times in the comments, are like, I don't want this person to get famous because then everyone's going to know about it, everyone's going to talk, it's going to be mainstream, it's not going to be like, mine.
It's like, don't you want success for your artist?
That's what I was going to say. Like, if you support an artist so much and you like their work, you want them to keep doing so.
Yeah.
And for them to do that, you need to support them financially and with a lot of fans. So I don't really see the downside of keeping all these artists underground.
The downside?
Like the downside. I don't see, like, what's the point of that?
Right.
So.
Yeah, and it's also kind of a thing of like when people find smaller bands and smaller artists, there's kind of like a stronger relationship between the artists and the fans usually, because like they're just now trying to like get up off the ground. Like, for example, there's a band I follow called Arizona. The guitarist used to be friends with a YouTuber I watched, and so like I would follow him from where he was just posting like 15-second clips on Instagram to like he was with his friends, started this band, got signed. Like, I've been through that journey with them, right, as a fan. And the lead singer does Twitch streams. He plays like PUBG and stuff like that. But in the comments, once they announced that they were going to be opening for Panic at the Disco summer tour, everyone was like, oh, I don't want y'all to get famous because it's not going to be as cool like just to hang out here and just chat, because this chat's going to grow and it's going to be so full. And it's like, dude, these guys are working for their fame. Like, they're doing everything they can. That's why they're they're opening for such a big band. And you guys you value your fan to performer relationship more than, the performer's entire career goals. Like, okay, chill.
Those are toxic fans.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that.
Yeah.
And I don't really feel like people are entitled to have those kinds of opinions when it comes to somebody else's success.
Yeah, and then like imagine what that does for the artists themselves, because like of course they're like grateful to their fans for their success and stuff, but also like they need
do I keep growing?
They gotta move
on.
Yeah, it's kind of like the like age-old debate about like I guess kind of like whenever rock was the biggest genre, and kind of like Nirvana, like how they didn't know how to like balance the perks of fame, I guess, and success, versus like they didn't want to sell out, they didn't want to lose creative control. But I guess that's a struggle that follows a lot of artists around. Like, where is that line? Like, or is there even such a thing as selling out?
Well, I mean, technically speaking, isn't the primary focus of an artist the business perspective from it, right?
Yeah.
To get financial, just get money from it, right?
Yeah.
So you can't really blame them for that.
Right, exactly. But I mean, it's kind of like Chance the Rapper, right? Like, he didn't want to sell his songs because he felt like putting a price on the music kind of devalues the music itself. And so people were kind of mad that he made his album exclusive to Apple Music only for like 2 weeks, because it's like, dude, this is a service you have to pay for. And now as inclusive and stuff as you wanted to be to your fans and saying that you were only in it for the music. Now it seems like you're kind of only in it for the money now that you've made it big and started working with big name artists. But he's still not signed to any label. Like, he still works like for himself, by himself, right?
I think so.
I have no idea.
Didn't he have some type of affiliation with Kanye?
Yeah, he worked on an album with Kanye.
Oh, okay.
But as far as I know,
yeah, it might not be.
Chance himself is still unsigned. Like, he works with and features with like literally whoever. Like, I found Chance the Rapper through a Justin Bieber song. Okay. But he's still like an independent artist, but no longer such hard roots in indie. But yeah, it's an interesting discussion. It's an interesting topic.
It is.
Speaking of indie music, Cris, you have an indie song that you've been vibing with. Would you like to listen? Do you remember what song it was? Do you remember the artist? Do you remember the title?
So it's Billie Eilish.
Yes.
And it's Strange Addiction. Wait, so let me preface this song.
Yes, please do.
So
give us some background.
I found this song through my beautiful girlfriend Joanna.
Shouts out JoJo.
And it's so weird.
Yeah.
Because they have little like The Office snippets of it. So
interesting.
Huge fan. So yeah,
of The Office.
I like it. It's nice.
All right, so let's give this song a listen. This is Billie Eilish, My Strange Addiction. That was My Strange Addiction, Billie Eilish.
I love it.
I love it too.
Interesting, very interesting.
Strange artist, but you know,
she's so weird.
She's super young, right?
Yeah, I think she's younger than we are, right?
She scares me.
She's weird. No, like, I mean, her songs. It's kind of like, I don't know, separating the artist from the art, kind of like the first podcast episode. But in this case, it's not so much controversy as it is just, dude, she's so weird.
She's weird.
But you know, there is controversy around one of her songs.
Which
actually,
one?
if y'all would like to discuss,
Wish
You Were Gay.
Oh,
I haven't heard it.
Just showed me
I was
that
talking
today.
about this earlier.
So Billie Eilish wrote this song, and the premise of it is she like said this in an interview too, right? She liked this guy, and he didn't like her back, and she was like, "Oh, dude, I wish you were gay. That way you'd have a reason to not like me." And it's like, is not liking you not a reason enough to not like you? But yeah, there was controversy around that.
Wow.
Wait, how's that controversial?
I could see that being controversial
because, you know, the general experience of a gay individual in today's society isn't necessarily always the best, and she's wishing that someone's sexual identity and orientation were different just for her sake, for her benefit.
Oh, so people are hating on her.
Yeah.
Oh,
on her.
I didn't know that.
I had no idea about that.
I had no idea about
I
that.
don't know
I just knew like what it was like meaning about,
Mm-hmm.
like because you know, like you said, like the guy rejected her.
Yeah.
Not because of her, but she wished it was because this dude was just roll the other way, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, the internet always has an opinion, right? And that was the internet's opinion. And by the internet, it could mean like two people or everyone. I don't know. I see what I see on Twitter, you know. But yeah, but interesting artist. I'll like regardless, and she's super young.
Yeah,
and
she's
good.
good. She has
Fantastic.
some good songs, but they're just a little scary.
The songs are scary?
That's all. Yeah.
I love it.
What song scares you?
The one that's like, "You Should See Me in a Crown," and it's got like the knives.
Oh, with the little
and the
visual.
sound, and it's just like scary. And then every time I look at one of her songs, her eyes are rolled back, and she's sitting on the bed, and I feel like she's gonna kill me in my sleep. You know.
Dude, the album art is crazy.
The album art is.
Looked at it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called art.
Yeah, I look through.
Does it mean it can't be scary? What the hell?
Jorge, describe what you're showing us.
So this is a cover art.
Oh my god!
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
See this?
No.
It's basically her, but like
it's like
scratched out, kind of like in a.
It's a
horror
drawing.
movie type
Stop!
thing.
I don't want to
Like
look at it anymore.
Creepy kid in a horror movie type drawing of her, but like with giant Leviathan teeth. But yeah,
it's goodbye. Okay.
I mean, she's got some vision, but
she's something. But like, dude, she's getting the
it's
attention,
working.
and it's working, and it's building up her brand and the name.
Nour was covering her eyes the entire time.
Yeah, no.
Nour, she's just misunderstood.
It's
Okay.
scary.
Right.
All right. Let's change pace here. Let's play a game. I want to play a game.
Ooh, I love games.
Okay, so this one is called Dumb Debates, aka Don't Even Get Me Started. And what we gonna do here is, dude, I listened to one country song and my country accent comes back. So the way this game works, 2 people will be the debaters. One person will choose the topic, and because there's 4 of us, and the other will decide who's going to be for and who's going to be against it. Dang. And so 2 of y'all are going to debate whether you're for or against it for maybe a minute or 2, or until we get bored of the topic.
Okay.
So
who chooses?
Who wants to debate first? Who has a topic that they would like to have discussed? It doesn't have to be serious. It can be something as dumb as like toilet paper over or under.
No, didn't you have a topic?
Do you let dishes soak?
You want to discuss?
Nour?
Nour?
No.
Go ahead, disclose it.
Nour, give us your topic.
It's not really a topic, but okay. So I was talking to.
It can be something as dumb as like
orange.
Okay. It can be something as dumb as like orange juice. Yes,
I have
or no.
to preface this because I don't want to offend anyone.
Okay.
But this has nothing to do with anybody that we know today, because. Okay, my topic is people who record an entire concert and put it on their Snapchat. But no, this was my topic earlier. It has nothing to do with the Bad Bunny concert.
I hope you're having fun at Bad Bunny.
Nobody did that today. I'm just saying, you said to come up with something that like...
there's a concert? I had no idea. I didn't realize that everyone's Snapchat story was just, flashing lights.
Okay, but they didn't post
and
the
loud
whole
audio.
Concert. They posted like hit songs, and that's cool. But there's people who literally... I have to tap my Snapchat 300 times to get through their story.
Yeah. That is annoying.
But think about it. Wouldn't you want to...
All right, so let's save the
debate.
No,
not the whole concert from start to finish.
Okay.
No, don't yell into the mic.
Debate it?
I keep having to move your levels, bro. All right, so Nour, since you gave us the topic, I'm sorry you do not get to debate.
Damn it.
Cris and Jorge, y'all will be debating.
Right.
All right.
Pick my side, Nour.
I'm for.
Yeah, no, I was going to say Cris is for. Jorge, you're against.
So...
debate.
Jorge?
All right,
you have, Jorge, max
against.
a minute on the clock to make your point.
So my point is against it, right? So I don't like people who...
Yes.
All right.
Your time starts now.
I guess the reason I don't like how people like be posting all this stuff, it's like, okay, I've seen it once. All right, but next, all right, same thing. All right, I get it. You're at a concert. All right. That's cool. That's fun, So then I just got to keep... At some point, I just like keep like tapping. And I don't want it to like, how on Snapchat their story shows up.
Caller, I swear to God.
Oh, no.
Nour, what have you done?
This, by the way.
Let's see if we can get this to work for once in our lives. Caller, hello. Hang on. You are supposedly live on air. Yes, no, maybe so.
Hello? Yes?
Hello? Yes.
Hi, yeah. So, I just wanted to input on what you guys are talking about. Personally, I think, like, it's cool that people post, the concerts they attend. Because, like, people, like, want to experience that, too. And some people just can't be there in person.
Uh-huh.
So,
That is a good point. Thank you so much for your input.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but,
I appreciate your
also,
input.
Also, Bad Bunny concert was lit. Goodbye.
So, there you
divided everyone. Nour.
Cris, why are you here then?
All right, so here's the thing.
Cris, debate your point.
First of all, no one's forcing anyone to look at people's story.
This is true.
I think that's you can just skip. That's a pretty big function on Snapchat.
I don't want any hate.
Can I finish?
Can I finish? I'm just trying my best.
Okay, so for the rest of the show, remember that the sides that these kids have are not the sides that they would usually take in any normal conversation.
I would take this side.
Okay, that's up to you to disclose, but just know they were assigned the topic.
Here,
right.
It's just a game, bro.
It's just a game.
That's just a game. Don't you see the mics? It's just a game.
Of course. All right, so like I was saying. Right, so I mean, no one's forcing you to use social media to look at what they're doing and what they're posting about. Secondly, like, think about it. We're talking $100, $150 to go watch an artist. Me personally, I'll want to get some type of evidence of it, if not for everyone else, but for myself. And yeah, like, you don't have to look at it. Like, it's not that hard, But it serves such a cool memory, right? To have that years from now and look back.
Yes.
At the whole concert, if need be. Yeah, that's what I think.
All right, good debate. Would anyone like to rebuke their topic, or have we all been convinced that recording a concert is okay, as said by...
4, right?
Cris, the person that called in, are for it. Jorge is against it for the sake of this conversation. Nour, this was your topic of discussion. Have you been convinced otherwise?
I mean, I don't have a problem when people take videos and post it because, like, I do want to see it too. The only thing I was stating was people who record the concert start to finish, which I think people might misunderstand as posting snippets of the concert. But I'm literally talking about the people who are on their phone for the entire concert. Like, for me, when I go to a concert, I don't have any names right now.
Chris has spilled the tea, sis, but again, no tea, no shade.
Nobody
did
a
nice, friendly discussion.
Like, when I went to a concert, I noticed that when I was on my phone, I wasn't really enjoying the concert in its entirety. And so, like, that's just my take on it.
So back to the first conversation about country music, I got to see Hunter Hayes at HPU, and I had my phone, and it started to rain, right? So, like, at first I was like, oh my God, I love this song. And I would post, like, my favorite verse or chorus of it, right? And when it started to rain, I put my phone up, and I realized how much more, like, enjoyable it is to just be in the moment and enjoy the music live and, like, have that artist fan connection type thing. Because, like, dude, no longer are you watching it through a tiny screen. They exist. They're in front of you. Enjoy their presence.
For sure.
So that's my viewpoint that no one asked for. All right, Cris.
We care.
Thank you so much for caring. Cris, give us a topic to discuss. And by us, I mean Nour and Jorge. Literally anything. It can be a person, place, thing, item.
What do you guys want to talk about?
You can't ask them if they want to debate.
I haven't prepared for this.
Just pick any.
You got a topic while Cris ponders?
Me?
Jorge also has something.
Topic.
This is supposed to be on the spot. That's why there are no prepared topics. You have to be ready. Stay ready. So you got to get ready.
Topic. Yeah, sure. So I was talking about this with some friends earlier today on how you meet other people in high school, like your friends that you see them after graduating.
Right.
Do you like interact with them in some sort of way? And if you do, you know how they're like always friendly and nice to your parents, like, hey, I'm glad that, you know, hey, how are you doing? I'm happy I met you. Like, how's your
What's
your
the
son doing?
No, I get it.
You get it, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, they come up to you and they're like,
Nour
really
and I are
nice
both
to your
struggling.
parents.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Jorge. So you're asking about how do
you interact with people after you no longer have a requirement to interact with them? So you're saying, like, when you run into someone from high school at, like, Walmart, do you say hi?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, well, why don't you just...
Well, how do I...
All right, so Nour...
I think you prefaced it good, Jorge, just for the record.
Thank you,
Okay.
Nour, you are for saying hi to people. Cris, you are against saying hi to people.
Some people aren't, you know. Some people are, like, shy.
Okay. Wait.
I'm just assigning sides for the sake of this discussion. So, Nour, minute max on the clock as to why you should say hi to people after you no longer have any obligation to interact with them. Go.
I mean, I don't think...
All right. Pause while we...
Wrong, Nour.
Thanks, Cris.
Wrong.
All right. Hang on. All right. Surprise topic change. Please.
Ooh, cool.
Wait. Can't hear you. All right, now go.
What do you guys think about genetically modifying humans, and where do you think that will lead for the future?
All right. Ooh, that's a really good one.
Since there's a scientist in China who has claimed that he has actually modified some twins to be against, like, HIV, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because their parents had it, but now they don't have it because he did something.
Ooh, all right. We shall actually discuss that because I feel like that's more interesting than this.
All right.
Right.
So what is it?
So, the topic you will be discussing is whether or not... this is such a heavy change. This is whether or not it's okay to genetically modify humans because, you know, scientists have begun working on this, and apparently in China this has, like, begun to happen between, like, twins.
CRISPR.
So, like... yeah.
Who brought this up?
Yeah.
Who called?
CRISPR, yeah.
I did not ask for a name because we are just taking, you know, topics.
Let's just go with it.
All right, so let's keep your rules, I guess. Nour, you're for, Cris, you're against. Or would y'all like to?
I really...
All right.
It doesn't matter.
Nour, you're for, Cris, you're against.
Can you give me, like, an example? Like...
All right, so... Let's say in the future, if you decide to have kids, you could physically enhance some of their abilities, such as height, just like
you would
endurance.
basically be able to edit
be
them
like eye
in any way.
color,
It could
you know
be
what I mean?
something as far as like aesthetics, just
Right.
like cosmetic things, or it could be something as real as like erasing a gene that is prone to like a certain type of disease developing later in life.
Are there downfalls to doing it?
I mean,
Ethicals.
yeah, the ethics of it, the government trying to weaponize
been tried.
this,
Maybe? Okay.
kind of, yeah, basically
Hasn't
just
been tried, yeah.
it being taken into, wrong person, wrong hands type thing.
Okay.
For the
So
wrong
I'm
purpose.
for it.
Yes. Defend this topic.
I guess if I'm going to give an argument for it, it would be that considering that science is constantly evolving and changing, like if this is something that could possibly prevent people from having a gene that causes a certain, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like
Disease?
Yeah, disease or something in the future, like if it's going to help humans stay alive longer and like have higher fertility rates, I don't really see why we shouldn't allow it. I mean, like, we won't be able to know if it works until you try it.
Interesting. Yeah. Cris, your side.
I'm against, right? So what I've heard most about this topic is the ethical side of it.
Yes.
So
discuss.
At what point does it like become cosmetic and then like medical, right? It's at this point in time I feel like it's way too early to even think about experimenting on humans. Because I know right now they're trying to do it on animals and stuff, but I don't know, it firstly, if it does become available, it'll only be available to the 1%, right?
Yeah,
like,
mostly it's expensive.
Very, very expensive, very new technology. It seems like it's very hard to get a hold of, so I really don't see how it could be released to the public when pretty much no one's gonna get it.
Right.
So that brings in more ethical issues. Right. So what's the point? Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Jorge, have you been moved either way?
Well, I think they both brought up very, very good points. I like Nour's points and how it could help prevent diseases, because I feel like that was the first like reason for genetic modifying
was supposed to
like
kind
remove
of help,
like HIV and stuff,
human.
like genes that would like affect different like AIDS and stuff that aren't curable. So I get that, and I see like the benefits to that. But again, like Cris was saying, the ethics and morals between it's like you're playing God in a way, and I feel like at one point you have to draw the line as to where
that's my boy,
where humans, between the difference between a human and between like, are you really a human? Because you can change. I'm thinking about like the future here. You can change like your hair color, you can change your eye color, you can change literally anything. Like, it's literally your DNA.
That is true.
But does that make you less human? Just because you change the color?
Yeah, if everyone's the same, I mean, like
some could say less natural, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
You know how your kid's gonna come out.
Like, you can't be ugly, right? You can like if you want to be skinny, give him the skinny gene. If you want to be like buff,
okay,
like,
it's not guaranteed, but that is what people would like. Supposedly, like the ethics comes into play when people would aim to like create their idea of the perfect human.
Right. That's
and sooner or later, like if this technology does come out to the public, it's gonna reach that point. I mean, look at the cosmetic industry right now and how profitable it is.
Like plastic surgery,
of course,
you're saying,
yeah. Like, why wouldn't this become a thing?
Yeah.
You know,
can imagine all the fancy rich people being like, "Yo, my kid's about to have rainbow eyes."
Imagine the advertising.
Imagine the advertising.
Your free
come get y'all gene juice.
Very scared of me, Nour. I don't know about that.
I'm sorry, Cris. Luckily, you won't be genetically modified.
No, but like what you said, right? If you can prevent these horrible, deathly illnesses, then why wouldn't you? It's the ethical issues in it that gets hard to look at.
Those darn ethics always messing everything up. Gosh, why do we have morals? Sorry, it's a joke. All right, new topic. I feel like the saying hi to someone in public is a good one, because that is something that I personally struggle with every single time I run into someone. That's what I love about being in Connecticut. I don't risk running into someone and being faced with that decision. All right. Hello, caller. You are now live.
Oh, okay. Jackie here.
Sorry, what?
It's Jackie, by the way.
It's Jackie. Hello, Jackie.
Before you switch topic,
Mm-hmm.
going on to what Jorge said about messing with God, I believe in God. Like, I'm not saying I don't, but him assuming that there is a God when we don't know, that would be hurt by people changing people's DNA or like how they're formed, I think is like a really debatable topic. Just him like automatically assuming there is a God and he would be hurt by us doing that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your point. We shall discuss. Thank you, Jackie.
Shout out Jackie.
Shouts out Jackie. Thanks for the call.
So she's saying that the whole gods or God.
She's saying that mentioning
right?
God as an argument is another potential reason for debate because, you know, not everyone believes the same things. But Jackie herself says that this isn't personal because she does believe in God. But do y'all want to discuss that? Bringing God into ethics?
Like, God would be upset that we're...
Like, that's what he...
I think she's debating
along the lines of what he said
people
is that some people would take issue with bringing, like, ethics and God into it. Like, God would be upset or, like, it doesn't follow the natural... like rule, like, you know, like everyone's made in his image type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, do y'all want to discuss bringing God into ethics or...
Damn, we're going pretty deep then.
That's a deep topic.
She brought up the God, bro.
She pulled the God card.
She dead ass with the God card. All right, well.
I mean, I can put input into this because it's something that I kind of think a lot about in just separation of church and state in general, because I'm aware that there are different beliefs, right? And you don't really know until you die, right? Like that's pretty much how all of these belief systems work. I personally believe in God, but I'm not going to force that onto anyone's decision making. And I mean, this comes into play with like all of the big issues like gay marriage and abortion and that type of stuff. But like, again, just because you believe something doesn't really give you a right to impose that onto somebody else. That's my personal takeaway and belief. Like, I believe what I believe. You can do what you want as long as you're not hurting anyone else or, you know, being a bad influence or something. Yeah. Y'all.
You got touchy, huh?
I mean, yeah.
So she was saying that for the genetic modifying things, people that believe in God wouldn't be...
They would say that this is... they'd be against it because you're messing with, a creation of God.
Exactly. That's like I was saying, like a very ethic and moral thing.
Yeah. But that's more like personal beliefs, and how far should that be included into things like this?
I mean, I guess I would say, like, wouldn't you think that God put humans on this earth to find out new things, like to see if we can change the things, you know, like God made us with brains and like there's knowledge everywhere. There's nothing to say that he wouldn't support this or like wouldn't say, hey, try it out. I mean, I don't know. Try it. See if you can do what I do.
Wait, so you're saying that God is telling us to play God? Isn't this like the whole Sims thing where like the Sims realize that they're in a simulation?
Dude,
and
we're
like
getting there. I'm telling you, bro. We are getting there.
We're reaching the end of the Sims
like,
game,
here's
bro.
the thing. People will believe in God, right?
Yeah.
But these aren't my like views and stuff. Like, I'm just saying, like, this is what atheists are saying. Sure. And they're like, you know, if God is so, you know, almighty and knowing, then he should have known that
he would have accounted
humans,
for it.
Right,
humans would like eventually get to a point where this would happen, you know.
Interesting.
Again, not my opinion. But
yeah,
that's like their biggest argument to that.
I mean, yeah, if God is all knowing, then he would know the potential of humans to be able to.
So you're saying we're just like running through this cycle that it's like
created.
Dude, this plays into like predestined fate. And whether free will is free will or not. Yeah, I feel like this has been... If we've kind of touched on this topic before on the show, and I know that this conversation comes up with like my friends, and in particular this group a lot. We like to discuss big things, apparently. But yeah, wow. Heavy.
That is heavy.
So a lot of times... It's really touchy, right? I mean... Just because... So Nour.
Yes.
So... I know it might get too touchy here, but what's your beliefs in when it comes to religion? I'm just curious.
And I believe in God.
Okay.
Cris, what are yours?
I'm very much with yours. I mean, I was raised Catholic. I do believe in God. But I'm really much of the belief that, like you said, as long as you're not hurting anyone, as long as you're not hurting yourself, do what makes you happy. I'm very sure of what my beliefs are. Yeah. And to me, that's enough, right?
Right. Like you're good in your faith, and that's enough for you.
Do you think that, like, by doing genetic modification, that it's hurting people? And that's why you would potentially be against it?
I think that's not why I'm against it.
Wait, are you actually against it in real life, or?
Partially.
Oh, okay.
Partially. Yeah. When it comes to cosmetic reasons, yeah.
Yes.
But, when it comes to helping people with diseases, 100%, we should take advantage of that technology.
I feel like if that science could be perfected, it would be worthwhile. But there's also kind of like, there was a book I had to read for school called Flowers for Algernon, and they discovered with this mouse that they could like make it smarter by like doing some sort of brain surgery, and then they tried it on this dude who was I think mentally handicapped, and it made him super smart, like super crazy smart. But as he was like on this climb for intelligence, they realized that it made the mouse's brain, like once it peaked, deteriorate and have an earlier death. And so by then it's too late to like reverse the surgery on the guy. So the guy ends up, spoiler alert, I guess this book came out like in the 70s, so but yeah, so the same thing happens to the guy. He peaks in his intelligence, then it's like an exponential deterioration towards his death. And so like because they didn't do enough research to like figure out what the adverse effects could be, it kind of backfired. And so I don't know if that science about like genetically modifying humans could ever be perfected, because even just like a part of being alive is evolving and like adapting genetically to the environment.
But I'm sure in like the far future,
far future when we're like living on Pluto.
And the thing with the genetic modifying is the helping people with the diseases and stuff. That's good, but like at one point the technology is gonna be so good and advanced that they'll be able to change their color and types, and then people who don't believe in God, they'll want to do those things. Like it's very profitable. Like Cris was saying, like the makeup industry is $1 billion industry, and this will also become very profitable. So once you have money involved, the people are going to demand, hey, if the technology's here, why can't you just give us like the genes that we want? I don't believe in a God. Why are you not letting us do this?
Right.
So I think it's going to get to that point.
Yeah.
It sucks, but,
And I think a lot of conversations about morality and ethics always end up taking a turn towards religion, which is what makes them so hard to have, because people will be like, okay, but the Bible says, or whatever. And it's like, dude, you could have made your argument without ever mentioning religion, but people just don't always have that in them. Or even if it's not mentioned, the people that like to discuss it will tie it in and be like, okay, but why do you have that ethical compass, So you're not wrong. At all, in my opinion.
I'm not?
In Carla's opinion.
In my opinion.
No.
Wow. No, I'm saying you do have a point, because it will get brought up, right? Like, that's kind of how every giant political conversation is going today.
Very political, yes.
It always takes that type of turn. All of y'all have really good points. This is a good discussion topic that took a far deeper turn than...
So who brought this up?
It was a random caller.
Okay. But I do want to discuss saying hi to strangers. So I feel like that'll be a good one to close off this game. All right. So actually, let's all discuss with our real opinions whether or not you should say hi to someone that you used to know. Not the song by Gautier, the real life situation. Please discuss.
I'm personally not against, if I see like a good like high school friend, I'll be like, hey, what's up? They probably won't say anything. They probably like pretend like they didn't see me or some shit.
Yeah.
But, that's that. I'll try to make an effort to like say hey.
You'll try to make an effort to say hey.
I won't be like, hiding, in a corner or something like, oh shit, I saw him. Time to run away,
You're not going to jump into the freezer.
Is that what you do? No. I'm kidding. But yeah, that's me.
Cris.
I think maybe middle school, elementary school, when I would see people in public that I knew from school, I would try my absolute hardest to dodge them. But now I really do not care.
Yeah.
I kind of just I think most of the times I don't even notice.
Really?
Yeah. But if I do like If I do encounter them, I will say something. Well, it doesn't hurt.
That's true.
Right?
Very true.
And if they don't say anything, then
Norrigan.
What do we do? What do we do,
Norrigan.
Jorge?
If they don't say anything,
Huh?
And they're fake. I mean, what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, like
try.
like I'll say hi to somebody if I know them, but first you can sometimes tell when somebody doesn't want to say hi to you. They'll just pretend like they don't know you, like Cris used to do.
Sorry.
Dang. Calling Cris out.
Wait.
But then other times you'll just say hi and they'll just ask, how are you? And it doesn't hurt anybody to hold
Yeah.
It is nice to
a
catch up with
30-second
people.
conversation.
It is.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I actually, not recently, well, kind of recently, over spring break, I had this discussion with my father, who was probably listening. Hi, Dad. But I went back home for spring break, and I saw someone that, like, I used to know, said just kind of, hi, awkward, goodbye, you know.
Mhm.
Yes, we used to exist in each other's, like, relevant surroundings. But then they went to the store, and this girl that I went to school with, in like from primary up to middle school, but I wasn't ever really friends with her. Like, she was in my class, and we were friendly. I hope I'm not hurting her feelings if she's listening, but like, I mean, she had her group of friends, I had mine. But apparently whenever they see her, she always says hi to them, which is normal because my parents used to like volunteer and stuff. But then she always asks about me, which, I mean, again, normal. We saw each other. But then she'll be like, Carla should come visit me and, you know, say hi. We should catch up. And it's like, dude, where was this energy when I used to know you? Like, I wasn't aware that we were like in that.
That's true.
On that level. But, you know, very interesting.
Some
I don't
people
know.
are like that.
Yeah, it's weird. So if I see someone that like I like know and like visibly like we've recognized each other, you know, they get the nod.
Yeah.
Maybe
They
a
get
peace
the
sign if
nod.
I'm feeling particularly friendly that day. But unless it's someone that I talk to, I'm not gonna be like, hey, what's up, man? How's your life been? It's just kind of like, what's up? Our circles overlapped at some point. Peace out, man. But yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
Very, very.
I like that between the four of us, we all have different ways of dealing with this too.
Yeah, I feel like it's just immature if you don't you know, go up and talk to them like, come on.
Yeah,
like,
you're
you
right.
Can do it,
You're
you know?
right.
It's not a big of a deal.
Yeah, I feel like
Really.
it's just because it's like mostly being caught off guard. It's like I used to see you every day. Now I haven't seen you in years, and suddenly here you are.
You spend hours with these people sometimes.
Yeah.
And then going from that to
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, it's weird. It's interesting. Good topic.
Social
Actually,
media is there for, right?
Social media, that's exactly it. And it's like, dude, you don't even like my posts on Facebook, and now you're asking me about how my life has been? Bruh. But yeah, guys, final takeaways of anything that we've talked about, because we've talked about a lot.
Nour was wrong.
About?
I don't know. I just wanted to say that.
Thanks, Cris. Appreciate the support.
Yep.
I love the friendly energy and vibe of the show.
Yeah.
All love, no hate.
I love the callers. That's my favorite part.
The callers? Yeah.
Callers, yeah.
The callers always have something interesting to say.
Yo.
Shouts out, friends, for calling. Yeah, you
Please
know.
identify yourself.
Yeah, tell us your
who
name,
we're
you know.
talking to.
Shouts out Jackie, I guess, because we know who that one was.
But sometimes people don't want to, like.
Yeah,
just
that's true. I mean,
That's true.
just remember, all of these opinions have been for the sake of the game. Some of them were real, some of them were not. Which one was it? Nah, if you want to discuss, you know, there's the internet, there's social media. Feel free
Take
to do
a break
so.
from social media.
Yeah, take a
Honestly,
break.
take a break.
Is that the final takeaway? Take a break from social media?
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be a week. You can like, not even like opening your app if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, on screen time, you can limit how much you... Chris, stop wowing in my studio.
I'm not doing that.
You can limit yourself. You can set parental controls up. Maybe give your phone to a friend. Tell them to put in a code. That way you're forced to like live with it for a day or two, maybe, if you want to.
You know what's a good challenge?
What's a good challenge?
Not having a phone at all.
Okay, no,
Ooh.
absolutely not.
Or like at least turning your cellular data off.
What's the point of
Then
having a
what's the
phone at that
point?
point?
Wait,
You're just living.
then why would you?
You're
You
living.
couldn't even do a week off social media. You want to do a week without a
I'm
phone
just
completely?
suggesting. Okay, I'm not saying
Very
I do
ambitious
it, but I
person,
would like,
Jorge.
it's an
Maybe
interesting challenge.
let's compromise by saying switch to a flip phone. That way you legit only
Oh,
get calls and texts.
That's true.
I
She's
like
right about
that.
that.
Yeah.
Flip
Yeah.
phone challenge.
That works.
I like
All
that,
right.
Carla.
One more song to end the night, y'all. What we got? Nour.
Nour? What's your song, Nour?
It's a new one.
100. by Khalid.
100 by Khalid.
100 by Khalid.
Jorge,
Yo, Charlotte
you
is
and
like
my sister Charlotte.
Shout out to Charlotte.
Shouts out Charlotte. She's
new album.
Y'all went to see the album pre-release movie short thing, yeah.
We heard all his music
before they came out to the public. Else. How does it feel? You were part of that exclusive group.
For like that,
Indeed.
For those 2 days, it felt nice. But then after, it's like, all right.
Here is 100 by Khalid. That was 100 by Khalid. Amongst the beautiful chill song that we love, Cris decided to scare Nour, and so now we're all way too hyped because we all just kind of had that fight or flight response kick in. But anyway, final thoughts before we close out the show.
Final thoughts.
Like
we said again, guys. You know, just because our opinions may differ from each other, you know, I'm still friends with y'all. I'm sure we can still be friends. You know,
it's all love.
Aww.
It's all love here,
I'll live
guys.
in the studio. I'll live in the streets. All love.
Always.
What?
Always.
Most of the time.
And if not,
except for Cris.
And you're offended.
I just said all love.
He said I was wrong.
No.
And I scared you too.
Yeah, and he scared me.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. All right. Well, y'all know the drill. Same station, same time. New nonsense, new guests next week. Hope you guys have a fantastic week. Hope these songs are good enough for your playlists. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Good night.
Bye.
Yes.